Eala won the first set. She came out and won 6-3, clean and relatively comfortable. She dictated tempo early, she was moving well, she looked like the better player on the court, and the higher-ranked player was showing exactly why she was the favorite. The match looked completely under control. And then, the second set happened. Oliynykova stormed to 3-0, then 4-1. You could see the momentum shifting in real time. And here is where I want to give Eala credit. Because she didn't fold. She clawed all the way back to 5-all. Down 0-4 in the second set against a player on a qualifying hot streak on clay, and she found a way back to even. That is not nothing. That is fight. But Oliynykova held her nerve in the final 2 games of the second set to force a decider. And in the third set, the same pattern that's been showing up in Eala's clay season reappeared at the worst possible time. She got to 3-2, she had the lead, she had momentum, and then Oliynykova broke back to level at 3-all. And from that moment, the Ukrainian won 3 of the final 4 games to close it out 6-3. After the match, Oliynykova said, "In one moment in the third set when it was 3-all and very close, I just fought for every point and just told myself that I can relax. Tennis already won and I can be proud of this match. And maybe this is something that would help me play more freely in the end." That right there is a player who got to deuce, reset, and took it. That's the kind of mental gear that decides close matches on clay. Now here's the context that matters, and that I think changes how you should read this result. Oliynykova is not a random pushover. She has a 69% win rate on clay across her career. 69%. Last year alone, she won 3 WTA 125 clay court titles in Italy, Argentina, and Chile. She made her Grand Slam debut at the Australian Open this year. She came into this match having just beaten Yulia Putintseva, a seasoned tour veteran, in the qualifying final on clay. And she was coming through a competition format where you play fast, stay sharp, and build rhythm match by match. A player in qualifying form on clay is genuinely dangerous, and anyone who had looked at those numbers before the match knew this was not going to be a clean straight sets afternoon. And Eala herself was in a different situation going in. She entered this draw as a replacement. Originally first out in qualifying, she got elevated into the main draw after Victoria Mboko, the number 1 seed and world number 9, withdrew due to illness. Mboko is also supposed to be her Roland-Garros doubles partner. So she goes from preparing for qualifiers to stepping directly into a WTA 500 main draw as a late replacement, playing a qualifier who had just won 2 clay matches in 2 days on a court where neither of them had ever played before. That is not an excuse, but it is context. Here is the bigger picture of what Eala's clay season now looks like heading into Roland-Garros. 5 clay events in 2026. Linz, second round. Stuttgart, first round. Madrid, second round. Rome, third round, lost to world number 2 Rybakina. Strasbourg, first round, lost to a qualifier in 3 sets. Her record on clay this season is now 4-5. Not the clay form she was hoping to carry into Paris. But wait, because there's a number that puts this all in perspective. She is still ranked number 38 in the world, still inside the top 40. She has 1,340 ranking points. She climbed 4 spots from number 42 to number 38 off the back of Rome. And Roland-Garros is 6 days away. Nothing about the Strasbourg result changes the seedings, the points, or the draw. She goes to Paris the same player she was after Rome, someone who just pushed the world number 2 to a contested straight sets match on clay, who has more clay wins in 2026 than in the previous 2 seasons combined, and who has spoken all clay season about physical and mental improvements she can actually feel. And the Roland-Garros doubles is locked in. She is paired with 19-year-old Canadian Victoria Mboko, the same Mboko who withdrew from Strasbourg, but who Philstar confirmed is still Eala's doubles partner at the French Open. World number 9 and number 1 seed in Strasbourg, 2 young players under 21 teaming up at Roland-Garros for the first time. That is a doubles pairing that could make real noise in Paris. Now, let me be honest about the question this Strasbourg loss raises, because I think this channel has to say it. Clay is still the surface where Eala can go from brilliant to vulnerable in the same match. The Rome run showed the ceiling. how good she can be when everything clicks against quality opposition. Strasbourg showed the floor that a well-prepared qualifier with a high clay win rate can still take her down in 3 on the same surface a week later. That is not a contradiction. That is the reality of being a player ranked 38th in the world who is still developing on the surface she historically struggles with most. The question for Roland-Garros is which version shows up, the one who won 6-3 in the first set today and had Oliynykova on the back foot early, or the one who dropped the second set 5-7 from a dominant position and then ran out of steam in the third. Because the draw at Roland-Garros does not have to throw a qualifier at her in round 1. If she gets a seeded player early, she needs the Rome version. If she gets someone around her ranking in the first 2 rounds, she has every tool to make a deep run. Her 18-12 record in 2026 overall is genuinely strong. She has wins over Swiatek, Keys, Paolini, Goff in her career. The clay fear should not be based on 5 tournaments of mixed results. It should be based on what she showed against the world number 2 8 days ago. Here is what I know. 6 days from now, Roland-Garros begins. Eala walks into Paris ranked number 38 in the world, having made the 3rd round of a WTA 1000 clay event for the first time in her career, having pushed the Australian Open champion to a genuine fight, having shown real physical growth on a surface that beat her badly just 12 months ago. She turns 21 on May 23rd, the day before the tournament starts. Strasbourg was the warm-up act. Paris is